Board of Trustees is getting you a chance to hear from and meet one of our most famous former students. And that is a young man who I'm going to ask to talk to you in a minute, but I want to say a few words about him before I invite him to the podium. This is who I've just really enjoyed getting to know today, Emmanuel Orozco Castellanos. And Emmanuel, you may have seen, was recently awarded a Rhodes Scholarship. And his life story and his journey are fascinating, and he's going to share a few bits about that. But a bit about the Rhodes Scholarship for those of you who applied for the Rhodes Scholarship and didn't make it. If you just didn't really think you could make it and didn't apply, which is what I did. I'd never applied, never thought I could, but I think maybe even Emmanuel will be talking a little bit about that. It is one of the world's oldest scholarships. It was founded in 1902. It is an extraordinarily competitive and prestigious scholarship. It asks for, quote, applicants with great ambition for social impact and an uncommon ability to work with others to achieve your goals. You should also know that only 32 people in the United States are awarded this scholarship each year. You have to earn several folks from your university that support you in applying for this. And if you win this, you go on to a graduate program at Oxford University in England. You should also know that the scholarship itself gives that opportunity cost-free, and then that includes travel and study and expenses, and very likely exceeds $75,000 of value. It's no slouch to get in. We've had former President Bill Clinton and George Stephanopoulos as some Americans who you may know. Only 31 people from from Michigan, University of Michigan, thank you, University of Michigan, have been awarded this, and the 31st one is Emmanuel, who came to us from Mexico and attended high school in Southeast Michigan, and then believed that he had to follow what his mother told him he had to do, which is to get a college degree. And he wanted to go to the University of Michigan. And he was teaching himself English. He was working and trying to find a way to get into the University of Michigan. And when he was told he wasn't quite ready, he came to Henry Ford College for a program in our honors program that would give him an opportunity to transfer to the University of Michigan. I could tell you a lot more about that, but I do want to give you a chance to hear from him. And what we'll do, trustees, is let Emmanuel talk with you a bit. I've asked him to talk about his experience in Henry Ford College particularly. I just want to tell you that this is the life-changing work that you're leading here at the college, the kind of person who immigrates from another country from meager means to achieve access to University of Michigan through Henry Ford College, and then getting a extraordinarily wonderful opportunity as a Rhodes Scholar. After he says a few comments, I'll invite any of you to ask him any questions. And then what I would like to do is present Emmanuel with a token of our appreciation and take a photograph of me handing it to him, and then all of us will come to the front of the dais here and take a picture with the emblem behind us, because this is, I have to say, every single one of our students is important to us. We're proud of every single one of them, but not every single one of them is one of the Rhodes Scholars for this year. So please join me in welcoming, and Emmanuel, please feel free to join us at the podium. Please feel free to join me in welcoming Emmanuel.
Good evening, everyone. I'm really pleased and proud to be back. This feels like home. And I transferred to Michigan, to the University of Michigan, not that long ago. Thank you to the president and the board members for giving me this opportunity to express my gratitude. And I want to show you that I'm wearing my Henry Ford alumni pin. It was a gift from a good friend, and I'm wearing it not only with pride, but also with gratitude. And this story is about gratitude. And I want to start with the people who taught me what I know about gratitude. My parents and my family, my sisters who are here with me. My parents couldn't be here, but they're here supporting me, and I'm really grateful for that. But I want to tell you that my mom left school when she was in third grade in Mexico. And my dad finished elementary school but didn't have the opportunity to continue. And it was because they didn't have that opportunity that they valued education so much. And they actually sent my older brother to Wisconsin to complete his high school degree. And he was the first in our family to graduate from college. And I had that great example for me. My sisters too, we grew up in Mexico and moved to the United States 6 years ago in 2017. And my sister Luz, she's my twin sister, we were 18 at the time. And being an adult and having to navigate that immigrant journey was incredibly challenging. I went to River Rouge High School where I was trying to learn English and learn about the US education system, but unfortunately I didn't have enough time, enough information. And to me, it felt like all the doors I had available closed. But I think it was fate, it was the universe, it was God, whatever you believe in, that I came across this announcement about the transfer bridges to the humanities on Henry Ford College's website. And I actually decided that my dream of attending the University of Michigan and fulfilling my mom's dream was not out of the question. And Henry Ford offered to me that second opportunity that I really needed and wanted. And the first person I met at Henry Ford was Dr. Michael Dare, and his passing is a great loss for this community, and I know it firsthand. When he interviewed me for admission into the honors program, he received me with a great smile, and I was nervous. It was my first interview in English. And I remember that after the interview was over, he smiled and said, "Congratulations, you're welcome. You're part of the honors program now." He offered me financial assistance. And I remember walking back to my car and looking up at the American flag and thinking, a stranger decided to give me this second opportunity that I needed so much. And I didn't even ask for it. And I think this is a story of gratitude, because one thing about gratitude is that gratitude multiplies. And he made an investment in my education. And when we think about education and the public good that it is, and when we think about supporting immigrants and refugees, oftentimes it is talked about as an expense. But I'm here to tell you that it is an investment. I have been allowed to give back to the community because I had this opportunity and because of the generosity that I have received myself. And I want to tell you just a little bit about my time as a Henry Ford College student. I had the great honor to have incredible professors, including Pedro San Antonio, who taught the first English writing class that I took here. And in his class, I learned about marginalized voices. And I found my own voice in the journey. And I also want to acknowledge the incredible work of Professor Angela Ticanavala, who's sitting back there. For one of her courses, we read Isabel Wilkerson's book on the Great Migration, The Warmth of Other Suns. And the assignment was that we were asked to write about our migration stories. I sat down with my mom and discovered that my grandparents were braceros. They came to the United States as seasonal workers and helped connect the Midwest to the American West, to the West Coast. Ooh, I just don't want to go over time. But to me, writing that story and the fact that it was welcomed in the classroom and that I could learn from my ancestors and learn that migration had been part of my story for multiple generations was so empowering that I took that inspiration and took it in my future endeavors at the University of Michigan. One of the other things I got to do here because of Professor Angela was that I started volunteering at Freedom House Detroit, translating for refugees. And I actually minored in translation at the university. And this, again, is a story about investment and the reason why so many other immigrants make such great contributions to society, and this is actually backed by social science, is because we know how far generosity can go. And so I'm here today to express my gratitude and to encourage you to be generous and to continue to be generous. As one of the other presenters said, equity is one of the core missions of Henry Ford College and public institutions. And if my story doesn't illustrate that, I don't know what other story could. Because this is about increasing access, and it gave me access, and the career that I'm going to pursue, giving back and helping other people, was only possible because of the generosity of so many people that work at this institution. Thank you so much, and go Hawks.
Don't go anywhere yet. Don't go anywhere yet. Stay there. Stay there. Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to have Emmanuel answer any questions from your colleagues.
Trustee Watts?
I was going to wait to go last. So there's so much that you just unpacked that you presented in your story that resonates. My parents came from overseas where education was going to be number one, but they don't have formal education themselves. So the idea that you're going to go to college was never a question, it was going to be a given. But through their stories of doing interviews to find out what the previous generations have done in my family. So thank you for sharing that. Number two, I see that your story has resonated with one of your former professors in the back. So I just wanted to say thank you, because you're not seeing, but when you were speaking as a former teacher, you don't know the impact that you have on your students until times like this. So I wanted to say thank you for sharing that as well. Now, number three, what are you going to do? I mean, like, we know where you've come from, but what are you doing at U of M as a former alum Go Blue? But what are you planning on doing there, and then how does that propel you to Oxford, and then what after there? I feel like there's 3 stages here.
Yeah, so I'm currently, I've been working as a research assistant for about a year at the Department of Comparative Literature at the University of Michigan. And I'm curating a research project on muralism in Southwest Detroit and what it means to the Mexican community. And we're gonna have a launching event in April at Wayne State University, so we're very excited about that. And I'm also starting a new role as a paralegal at the Michigan Immigrant Rights Center in January, so I'm going to be doing that between now and October when I start my master's degree in forced migration at Oxford. Yeah, and I hope to work for the UN High Commissioner for Refugees or global NGOs advocating for the rights of migrants and displaced people.
Well, I will say, please keep us posted.
Yeah.
When those events do happen, please share it with the president, because I would like to come in and attend and support. So thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Moses?
Thank you, President Thorpe. Emmanuel, from a fellow immigrant, I'm very proud of you and your accomplishments, and you've made us all proud. And the kudos that you gave to your professors just tell us how wonderful this institution is. And you said you went to River Rouge for high school?
Yeah.
So if you would go there, and I'm sure that you're still having a lot of connections to that area, we need students from that area to come to Henry Ford College. So I would hope that you would put in the word, as I believe you would, since you are so proud of your time here, and we need more of students like you to attend this institution. So thank you for coming out today as well.
Yeah, and I just want to say, I worked as a paraprofessional when I was a student here at Acres High School, which is the public high school where I live, and that's exactly what I did. I told every single one of the students in the ESL program, go to a community college, forget about the 4-year university degree. And I mean, it's just such a great option. And I told them about how it made my transition so much easier, especially for multilingual students who are still, trying to improve their English skills. Yeah.
Thank you.
Trustee Pelishkov?
Well, I just wanted to congratulate you as well, and I thought you deserve the applause for the hard work you put in and the vision that you had and the ability to pursue it, even though you thought you had some roadblocks in the way. So I really applaud you on that journey. The one thing I can say is that institutions like ours, community colleges especially, that's what we were created for. That's exactly, you are the purpose for us in our existence is to provide those opportunities and that vision that you thought wasn't going to be within your reach. And I'm so happy that we were able to provide that for you. And I appreciate the fact that you took advantage of it. And I hope and wish for you all the best of your coming years in pursuing your dreams. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So,
I was going to say
sorry,
something.
go ahead.
Thanks. Appreciate you. I would just start with wow from the whole presentation that you gave. You serve as an ambassador for many groups, to many groups, and never forget that. And I am very happy that you are an ambassador for our institution going forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Emmanuel, I want to share just two little bits of information, and then I didn't ask my colleague Angela if she would, but I'm going to ask her to consider in a minute coming up and handing this plaque with me to you. And you don't have to. There's going to be photographs, but I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to decide whether you want to come up, Angela, because I'm going to talk for a minute. Trustees, Emmanuel and I have spent a little bit of time this afternoon together, and I want to share a few things with you that are remarkable about him, and I want to tell you why I think you're remarkable. Emmanuel shared that when he came to Henry Ford College, he was suffering from, and these are my words, not him, but a little bit of intimidation, maybe even a little bit of imposter syndrome, and that it was hard. It was hard to be here, learning English, climbing the mountain that is a potential to be a college student, and that when we talked with his sisters, we found out that it was intimidating for his twin sister also, and he said, you know, that first day I came home and I cried, and I was scared, and then I talked with him more and more, and I found that, you know, there was just like every other person, times of doubt and concern and fear, and two things about that struck me, Emmanuel. Number one, I watched the way your sisters looked at you, and they just so adore and impressed by your courage. And courage is not having the lack of fear. Of course, you know, courage is dealing with fear and overcoming it to persevere. And the change that I can see you've had on the people most close to you is remarkable. But it's not just them. People like me look at you and are inspired and find courage. And I can tell you, trustees, there's just a strange thing of fate that Emmanuel came to this college in the end of the summer of 2018. And he was feeling kind of intimidated and excited by the prospect. And he and I were sitting in the same place at Henry Ford College. And I said to him today, tell me about when you got here. He said, well, yeah, I was doing this and I was doing this. And then I started getting involved, and I had this event where I was supposed to help people check in at something where you were going to become the president. I think it was called investiture or something like that. And I said, well, please tell me you didn't have to sit through the speech. But it just resonated with me that you and I came to Henry Ford College, and it just says, it makes me feel really, really wonderful, like it does your instructor who now has to decide whether she wants to come up or not. But it makes us feel like our work matters. So I agree with you. Generosity, what you're doing for us makes us feel, and you're being generous to us to let us have a part of your journey. All right, Angela, what you coming up with me? Okay. So, Emmanuel, why don't you come up here? We're going to take a picture. I'm going to let Angela handle this. I'm going to do the picture, read it for you. You go up and hand it to him, we'll take a picture together. So this says, Henry Ford College warmly congratulates and honors Emmanuel Orozco Castellanos on being selected a 2024 Rhodes Scholar. We are very proud of you! Exclamation point.
So formal.
One thing I will ask is that when you hold this, we're going to tilt it forward like that a little bit so we don't see my crash. Luz, Fatima, you want to come up? Come on. right, trustees, stay up here, ladies. Stay up here. No, you're in it. Come on, trustees. You gotta hang that above the U of M degree.
Thank you. Right here? Smile.
All right, congratulations. Come on over. Come on over.